Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. And with that being said, I want to talk about a few things before we really kind of dive deep into the overall specifics behind this video. So one thing that I've been noticing on Twitter right now and around this entire space is we're starting to see communities attack each other. With Quant, we specifically have the chain link communities really kind of coming after us, and vice versa, right? Like even Quant and the communities behind QNT are going over and talking down on Link and things like that. At the end of the day, listen, Quant and Chainlink have a place in this market. I think far too many times we kind of box ourselves in when we look at this space as competitive, right? We need to start thinking collaborative. And I do think that Quant and Chainlink are two crucial players in the world of interoperability. And even beyond that, listen, we are still looking at this space right now, and everyone thinks that crypto is dead and that crypto is never going to do anything. I mean, hell, even if you say QNT is going to $860 per QNT, people will look at you and say, you're crazy. You'll be lucky to see, $200, $300, $400 again. And the same goes for like even other tokens like XRP. Like a lot of people think that $1 on XRP is the most that XRP is going to ever achieve. And it's crazy to me, but that is exactly what happens after we have a bear market where, we just go sideways or we go down, and it's brutal, right? And so far this market has been extremely brutal, but I want you guys to understand that, instead of looking at this space in, a 4-hour view or even a daily view or a 7-day view, think about this space long term. Right? The reason why I say this is because like when we look at Bitcoin and we go all the way back into, the early days of Bitcoin, let's go all the way back here up until like around, we'll say even 2014, right? 2013, 2014. For the most part, Bitcoin was going sideways. It was still going up in value. Now, I've seen a lot of people that have been screenshotted and posted everywhere selling at $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, and then all of a sudden, look at this. It hit $30. Then, of course, we crashed down. And how many people do you think during this time on Bitcoin were selling? Saying, oh, it's dead, it's going to zero, it's going to do this, whatever. And then all of a sudden, look, a couple years later, boom, it's at almost $200. And the rest, of course, is history. Beyond that, right, when we look at a lot of these tokens like QNT, for an example, or even when we look at other utility gems, it's insane to me that far too many people can't look beyond, like a 3 or 4 or 5 year time frame. And the reason why I say this is not because, hey, it's going to take 5 years for QNT to hit, massive valuations. No, I'm just saying like, think 5 years around the financial world, right? In the last couple years, and specifically 3 years, we have seen the world of finance change dramatically. And this entire space has changed. The thing right now, and the main reason why we're not seeing major price action and we're not seeing the space light up is because of interest. And I've shared this in the past. Like, look at the interest around crypto right now globally in the last 5 years. I mean, this space is technically dead. Nobody cares at all about crypto. Like, I strongly believe that in the next major cycle, when things start to really kind of pick up, there is going to be a lot of people that are here right now that miss all of the opportunities that this market's presenting. And the reason why is because they will buy into the FUD, they will FUD themselves out, they will be waiting for lower price action, this, that, whatever. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is where you want to be looking into crypto. You don't want to be looking into crypto when we're seeing these massive, spikes in the market where everyone is looking at crypto, everyone is interested in crypto. No, you want to be selling at those times. But outside of that, like, look at the entire crypto market right now. This is the entire crypto market cap. If we go all the way back to 2017, 2018's bottom, when we had the initial, major red spike to the bottom, to even the March of 2020 low candle, this was 486 days. We are now, right now, currently off of the major red candle, all the way to where we're at now, 487 days. Essentially the exact same time frame. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, if we are viewing this the way that we're looking at it going all the way back to 2018, 2019, 2020, November should be an absolute massive month for crypto, leading in to the coming months of 2024. This whole sideways momentum here, I'm taking it as accumulation, which means I'm accumulating a lot of these tokens and I'm waiting for specific levels. And we already hit my first major target on QNT. First off, I have, and I've been very transparent about this, a weekly buy order set up on QNT. I buy QNT weekly. I don't even look at it. I don't even care about it. I buy it weekly and that is it. Anything under $100 and I'm buying weekly. Now, a few levels that I'm very, very interested in was initially $84. We already tapped this level. We're already trading on it right now. The next few levels are $76, $68, and $60. And for those out there that have not been watching the channel for a while, like I said, we were calling for this massive downtrend anyways. Listen, for those that don't realize this, when the market was absolutely dead back in 2022, QNT shocked everyone. It literally did a 460% plus move. It took the entire market by storm, and we were screaming all over the channel, all over Twitter, all in the Discord that, hey, we are going to see this thing pull back in a strong way. We've seen it initially pull back very strong during FTX and things like that. We've seen a little bit of a spike, but for the most part, it was just a downtrend ever since roughly going back to October of 2022. If you want to go back to the January 2023 candle as well, downtrend, right? So we were talking about this for a while and we finally are seeing it now. We're finally getting it. But I don't want anyone to forget the fundamentals behind Quant. Because it's so easy to look past fundamentals when the price action looks like this, where people are losing, faith and hope and things like that because the price action is so bad. And again, listen, price action has been rough. You don't want to just buy aimlessly. You want to wait for a few levels. But for me, under $100 long term is going to be extremely profitable. So I don't really look at it as, oh, hey, I'm just buying blindly. No, I'm buying, under $100. I believe that QNT will see $100 plus. I also think that it will see $1,000 plus, and we've talked about even higher valuations. At the end of the day, the way that I look at QNT right now is, first off, we are seeing a massive amount of ridiculous FUD going around over on Twitter. Beyond that, I said I will keep buying under $100 because long term, this is a golden opportunity. Most people can't see that, and they can't see the opportunities that are presented to them within this space because all they look at is, well, they're looking at the 15-minute candle, right? They're looking at this and they're saying, well, this thing is dead. It's going down. It's going down. Or maybe they're looking at the 4-hour, right? The 4-hour looks extremely rough. It's looking weak. It's creating lower highs. It's creating, lower lows. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I look at this thing and I'm just like, I first look at the monthly. All right. I look at the monthly. I look at the weekly. These downtrends that almost look like they're never going to end, these usually get exhausted. Sellers will get exhausted. We'll start to see a major impulsive move back to the upside. And I want you all to understand that once we reclaim $100, that's the big moment. That's where we will see if QNT is ready to run again or if it's going to get rejected. But to me, I look at this as a golden opportunity. Outside of that, by the way, we have been seeing a very interesting look at QNT around on-chain inflows. Shout out to Tokenizer, we do see interesting. Even with all this QNT FUD, we're seeing positive inflows on-chain and 275 new wallets. People lie, but the chain never lies. Remember what they say, any publicity is good publicity. I'd imagine the FUD got some people's attention to do their own research. Don't listen to what I say. Don't listen to what QNT maxis say. Don't listen to what QNT haters say. Listen to the research that you've done yourself. And listen, this is another thing that I always say. I could talk about QNT all day long. I've been talking about QNT for well over, 2+ years now. And, my thought process has never been stronger. But beyond that, you also need to do your own research, because you won't have that confidence behind your investments unless you actually do the research for yourself as well. But on-chain statistics are very interesting, because we've already experienced an outflow of 6.73K from supported exchanges within the last 24 hours. That means that people bought 6.7 thousand plus QNT from exchanges. On average, QNT is held for 5 months before being transacted. Additionally, there have been 275 new active wallet addresses created for QNT in the last 24 hours. This is people realizing the value in front of them. I've said it so many damn times that QNT is such an incredible asset in the space. I love utility tokens. I love talking about XRP. I love talking about HBAR. I love talking about Algorand. I love talking about Casper. I love talking about all of these tokens. But the thing about Quant that gets me very, very excited is because, at the end of the day, we are seeing major adoption of this technology. When we start to see businesses, banks, fintechs, everything around us tapping into blockchain and DLT, they need to have their traditional systems connected to the digital DLT systems. How can you do that easy? Well, the easiest way is by tapping in through API plug and play technology. And that's exactly what we are seeing solved through Quant, right? And they continue to innovate beyond the means of just the whole idea of API plug and play. They also make it a lot more secure. They make it a lot more efficient. Just recently, we've talked about Quant Protect. This was a big one. It's solving $4 billion, right? It's a $4 billion problem. And it's allowing security to truly be solved. Interoperability has been solved, but they are also bringing in extremely high grade level cybersecurity to the pipeline. And this is huge because we already know that the enterprise sector is ready to adopt. They have been adopting. Hedera has seen a massive move on that front. Casper's also breaching into the enterprise grade sector as well. And this is what I like to see. Quant has been very, very vocal about their overall plans. They've been very vocal about what they are doing. They've been expanding. They've been building upon just the initial interoperability platform, which is, of course, Overledger. And beyond Overledger, by the way, we also do see over here on Overledger platform, Secure Bridge Flow is available in an easy-to-use interface to create and issue interoperable assets such as smart tokens and bridges. And again, this is the key thing around tokenization. The whole world of finance and beyond finance too, when we talk about real estate, it's all being disrupted by tokenization. But you don't achieve that unless there is a bridge, right? Currently speaking, the two worlds around us, meaning traditional and the digital worlds, they're converging at a very, very high rate. And the thing about it is it's accelerating. Every single day, technology is accelerating. And a lot of these big names, we've been talking about them, like the BIS, the DTCC, Swift, they're all ready. They're trying to tap in. They're trying to realize the value globally. And this requires major connections. This requires interoperability to be solved. And we're already seeing that being solved through Quant. The number one thing that I've always said around Quant is that, love it or hate it, if you are investing into XRP or if you're investing into HBAR or whatever, Quant is probably going to be your best friend, because at the end of the day, Quant is allowing the real world around you to actually tap in and utilize those specific networks and assets. Because what Quant does through Overledger is allows anyone and anything to choose the DLT that they need at that current moment in time for a specific use case, and they could pick and choose. Every single, no matter what, they could tap into XRP, they could tap into Hedera, they could tap into anything, even XDC. And this is what makes Quant so special, in my opinion, because if you invest into Quant, you're essentially investing into the future around DLT and crypto. And that's why I say, we see a golden opportunity in front of us, because in my opinion, right? And remember, there's risk involved in anything. No matter how good something looks, there's always going to be risk. But to me personally, as we look at Quant at $1 billion market cap, or even around $1 billion in market cap, this thing is extremely undervalued. It's extremely undervalued because we already know the world that we are ushering into. We already seen the path laid out in front of us by the BIS. They've been talking about the future monetary system. They've been talking about DLT, API plug and play technology with CBDCs, interoperability of CBDCs, interoperability of tokenized values, things like that. We already know the future. I am very, very patient. I know for a fact that in the next major cycle, the moves that are made on 99% of these assets will overshadow the moves being made here. Meaning, if we go to $1,000 to $2,000 on QNT, this will all look like this back here in 2019 and 2020. That's what I'm very excited about, because I strongly believe that QNT is going to be an absolute massive blue chip stock in this space. And when I say stock, obviously, I mean asset. And this is a project that I don't see why there's so much FUD around it. I really don't get it. Unless, Link, the Link community is scared that QNT is, far more efficient, it's better and things like that. And even then, it makes zero sense to start hating on other communities. I've always said I hold QNT, I also hold Link. I see the value in both of them. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, they're competing, because I just don't see them as competitors. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.